Alright, a very good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to all the members. Uh, for those who are joining us for the first time with YSC, a very warm welcome to you as well, and a very warm welcome to our speaker today, Swamiji. We will be starting, as usual, we will be starting with our prayer, and from there we take it ahead. Right? So let's sit back. Shoulders rolled back, relaxed. Eyes gently closed. Facial muscles relaxed. Gradually getting in touch with the breath. In case your breath rate is increased, let it settle down. Noticing the touch of the air as you inhale and as you exhale. Notice the breath rate settling down as you keep on watching the inhalation and exhalation. Exhale completely. We'll chant the prayer. For that, you breathe in. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोतं प्रवरं मुनीना पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Rub your palms on each other. And feel the warmth. Gently open your eyes. Once again, a very good morning and a welcome to everyone who's joined in. We'll start with a quick introduction to YSC for those who are new. So probably Pethe sir can give us a quick background of what is YSC, what we do, etc. Hemant Pethe sir? Sir, you are on mute.
Yeah. Hello, hearty welcome to everyone, and welcome to our new session of Study Circle, our monthly meeting. Just a quick introduction of Study Circle. We are a group of yoga enthusiasts, and we are all yoga practitioners and yoga lovers. We formed this group in 2015. We are all ex-students of MA Yoga Shastra of Somaiya College, and we have been conducting every month this session, and for last 8 years, that is to say 100 months, we have arranged this monthly sessions. Plus, I think our workshops exceeded 15 workshops during this last 8 years. We have conducted various workshops on various topics, yoga related topics like power yoga, anatomy, physiology, Shuddhi Kriya, and prenatal, postnatal, and many other subjects. Last year, we have arranged NLP workshops, and we have got very good response. Many yoga experts have visited this platform just to inform you, Bhishmaraj Bam sir, Dr. Sriram Agashi sir, uh, Rao sir, all are our visitors on this platform, and many celebrities like Smita Jaikar or Yukta Mukhi have come to grace this platform. Also, Dr. Anand Nadkarni delivered a very good lecture on mental health. So we are all yoga lovers. Many of us, I think almost all of us are bachelors or masters in Yoga Shastra, and many of us are doing PhD in yoga. So this is just a small introduction of our study group. And over to you, Chitraj.
Thank you so much, sir. As we kick off our session for today, I would like everyone to, get introduced to our esteemed speaker today, Swami Taponidhi ji. So, Chetan bhai, if you can give us a brief of Swami ji.
I'll do that. Sorry, I'm completely not prepared for this because to give a brief about Swamiji, it requires a lecture into itself. So I will not, and I have personally experienced where you actually talk about seva and all those things. And I have personally experienced how Swamiji actually has inculcated the concept of yoga and the concept of seva in a way which is beneficial to every individual who connects with him. Just to give you a brief, Swamiji has done a diploma course, teacher's course from Gantali Mitra Mandal. And he's also taken a sannyas order from Bihar School of Yoga. Good part for us is he stays in Ghatkopar, and we are very privileged to meet up with him or to take blessings from him whenever it is required. And he is always gracious to help out anybody and everybody who approaches him. So with this small thing, I would just request to take this forward.
Thank you so much, and really eager to learn and gain more knowledge from you, Swamiji. We can start, right, Balaji? Yeah.
Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat to everybody. Thank you very much for inviting me, Yoga Study Circle, Chetan Bhai, Balaji. I was asked to give a subject and I chose the subject of Yoga Darshan. So before we begin, a short 3 Oms. Vakratunda Mahakaya, Ganesh Mantra, and Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu. Please settle yourself comfortably. Elbows relaxed, shoulders relaxed. The trunk of the body is standing tall and straight. Eyes softly and gently closed. Open out the shoulders slightly and feel the free movement of the breath within the hollow of the trunk of the body. Shift the focus of your attention to the eyebrow center. Create, imagine or visualize a spot of light. Mentally draw a spot. Create it. Become aware that your attention gets riveted, gets focused on the spot. You may see the light, you may not see the light. With the attention on the spot, to chant the mantra Om 3 times with me. Inhale. Om. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Become aware of the gross physical body. Rub your palms vigorously. Palm the eyes and open the eyes within the palms. Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to you all again. Yes, all of us are masters in yoga philosophy or yoga science. And all of us are conducting sessions, whether online or offline. I was conducting one such session for Yoga Circle Pune. It was a pranayam session, a 1 hour pranayam session. It was just a practice session. There were no talks. At the end of the session, a young 19-year-old lad asked the question, do you practice yoga and pranayam together? I'm quite sure as teachers, you have also faced this situation. I asked him, what did he understand by yoga? And he said, asanas, postures. The world over today, whether it is TTCs, whether it is retreats, the focus is on asanas. It is not yoga. Where is the vision of the rishis? What is the vision of the rishis? That became a key point for me at that time. And then it set me off thinking, what exactly is happening? There are two aspects to it. Either one, that we are ready for yoga darshan, for the vision of the rishis, to delve deeper, or we are external, that we want to make the body flexible to such an extent that we can do all the monkey tricks. This is what brings out this subject, yoga darshan, the vision of the rishis. Let us start one by one. The concept and understanding of the word darshan, of the word yoga, of the word yoga darshan, going to evolution and the possibility of transformation. Darshan. The word darshan means to perceive. And I'm sure you will tell me, Swamiji, I can perceive with my eyes. I can hear with my ears. I can taste with the tongue. मैं सब देख सकता हूँ. मैं चख कर देखता हूँ. Ability to see through the eyes. What if you do not have eyes? What if you are deaf? Is hearing possible if you are deaf? Is it possible to see, perceive, if you are blind? You are all listening to me right now. Where is the attentive faculty of the mind? Are you receiving 100%, or is your mind listening to something else? So perception per se is confined at the moment to the capacity of the senses. Please understand here. You are listening to me. The attentive faculty is thinking something else. The perception is something different. So the fickleness of the attentive faculty is also becoming a cause of perception. The mind, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind perceives. But the mind, which can recall it, it is not independent, it is dependent on the senses for perception. We are on the word Darshan, and what we are talking of is the perception, the mind, what does it perceive? We will come to all this a little bit in detail. Sankhya classifies the mind as Sthula, Shukshma, Karana, gross, subtle, causal, going beyond to the Turiya state. Modern psychology classifies as conscious, subconscious, unconscious. Conscious range of the mind, subconscious range of the mind, unconscious range of the mind, different dimensions of consciousness of mind, various ranges of awareness, various ranges of perception. Please listen to this carefully. Various ranges of perception, various ranges of awareness. Mind is having various dimensions, consciousnesses, conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. Beyond that entire dogma of consciousness, the field of consciousness is the Turiya state. So our perception at the moment is gross. It is just one manifestation, one range of the mind. Let this be very clear. Let this concept go into yourself. As students of yoga, I am a student of yoga. This concept is very important to establish the base why yoga was established. What is the vision of the rishis? Can I see without the eyes? Can you see without the ears? Can you see without the eyes? Taste without the tongue? Hear without the senses? Smell without the nose? Move and travel without the limbs, astral travel? Can the ability to perceive be independent of the senses? I repeat, can the ability to perceive be independent of the senses? Can it be beyond sensorial experiences? Let us take some examples. The weather is turning hot. Bombay is becoming hotter and hotter. I'm in a hotter place. I'm in Tiruvannamalai right now. The background is very nice green. Suddenly someone comes and tells you it is going to rain. There are no clouds. There is no basis for his statement. There is no hypothesis. But there is something within him which tells him that it is going to rain. There is no evidence. There are no clouds in the sky. This is the intuitive faculty. This is intuitive knowledge, the word knowledge. This knowledge is independent of the senses. Not only intuitive faculty, intuitive knowledge, but to access universal knowledge. We are getting closer to the vision of the concept of darshan as per the vision of the rishis. Darshanas. We know there are 6. Astik, can you please change the slide? Yeah, thank you. So we have been talking of the senses, the absence of the faculty, We are talking of the mind, we have spoken of it. We are coming to knowledge, knowledge, gross, intuitive, and universal. I've just spoken about it. We know there are 6 darshanas: Yoga Darshan, Sankhya Darshan, Nyaya Darshan. The darshanas themselves have been evolved systematically and scientifically from the Upanishads. And they are from the Shrutis, the Vedas. Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and the Upanishads. They are a part of the Vedas. The word Veda is from the root word with, knowledge, to know. Veda is the alay of knowledge. It is the storehouse of knowledge. Knowledge of the forces of the universe which operate and make this body functional. It is the same forces which create the universe around us. So we have to understand that they are Shrutis. Vedas are Shrutis, revealed knowledge. But in what state? In a deep state of internalized awareness and attention. What is revealed to them is knowledge. We are in yoga wanting to internalize our attention through the darshanas, whether it is yoga darshan, nyaya darshan, whatever darshan. It could be Bauddha darshan, it could be Jain darshan, it could be Charvak darshan, it could be Tantra darshan. So this forces, to attain the knowledge of these forces, is requiring internalization. The entire practice of yoga today is externalized. So darshanas as such per se are concerned with knowledge through the different paths. To perceive beyond the senses, to access knowledge beyond the senses, to access intuitive knowledge, to access universal knowledge. Darshan. How to access intuitive knowledge and universal knowledge? We already said there are different states of the mind. We have to cross that. Can we restructure the consciousness? Can we restructure the mind? We are coming to the basis. It is not a simple thing to understand this thing. It is explained simply. The mind, can it be the link for evolution of consciousness? Can the mind be the link beyond the past impressions which are existing within? Just imagine, just recall, there have been musicians, for example, Beethoven. He was deaf, he could not hear, but he created some of the best music. He had the inborn ability to access the greater mind. Not only did he have it, but he had the capability to manifest those perceptions as music for us to appreciate. This is what is called quality of life. You are performing to your talents which you are receiving. The mind is not a barrier to the receiving universal knowledge. So do we, or man, we have observed the faculties, the expression, the qualities of greater mind, the capacity to know, go inside the mind of the other person and know him, to be clairvoyant. Do we have the capacity to achieve those states? Is there a possibility for expansion of the mind and consciousness, at the same time liberation of energy? Are they limited today? They are confined to our likes and dislikes. Our consciousness is confined to the likes and dislikes of our mind. The energy movement flow is confined to our likes and dislikes. We go away from that which we do not like. We go towards that which we like. So the word expansion of mind and consciousness, what does it mean? The ability to see beyond the limitations of the mind and the senses. We are still on the vision of the rishis. We are expanding on it. Liberation of energy. What is the meaning of the term liberation of energy? We have all read the Yoga Sutras. We have heard of ahimsa. We have read of the benefits of ahimsa, a practitioner of ahimsa. He is sitting down and a wild animal comes within the aura of his field. The wild animal calms down. That is liberation of energy. This is the enhancement of the field of energy as a greater force. Are we anywhere closer to practicing yoga for this? So these perceptions, they are experiences of nature, and they manifest, they are not as words. They are of the nature of either a hexagon or a triangle or a circle or a square, a petal, yantras, mandalas. You can perceive them as sounds. If you perceive those sounds, if these experiences happen, what happens further is energy is released. Consciousness, when you perceive them, when you perceive the unconscious potential in your unconscious, energy is released. This is release of the awakening of the Kundalini. Please understand one thing over here. I'm talking of coming to the vision of the rishis, and we need to know all this background first before we even enter into yoga. This is what is known as atha. A desire manifests as a thought. Desire, the field is Swadhisthana chakra, the water element. This thought can be manifested in words or an expression externally. It is Muladhara chakra. The same thought has created a vibration in the space within. There is the space element, the Vishuddhi chakra. It is the air, the Vayu. Please understand, it is not the air element, it is the Vayu element. Vayu is a flow. Vayu is a flow. And that flow can either break or make your vibrations which have been created in the space. You can destroy the vibration. Just for example, look at a conflict situation of Duryodhana. He knows what is appropriate, but he is unable to follow the practices as the heart is not ready to follow. Emotion and intelligence are at variance. I'm talking of the entire science of yoga over here. Too much this is, understand, emotion and intelligence at variance. Too much intellectual gymnastics. You may do something because you should, but your heart is not in it. Society has created the norm. This creates an imbalance. It is creating a guilt. It is an imposed morality. There is an inner disturbance. I don't want to do it. This is disharmony. Just imagine you are not appreciated for whatever you're doing. Would you stop doing it? This is the third example. Do you feel disheartened? To keep on doing what is pure, proper and is demanded of you, it requires emotional strength, irrespective of the appreciation. We, as I'm talking of daily life now, please understand yoga as daily life before I come to the word yoga. Am I seeking justification for whatever I've done wrong or the negative emotions which I have had? It is a sign of emotional immaturity. Remember, all these things come up as a thought. A thought is the springboard of your behavior and action. It is the springboard. Inherent in a thought is my like and dislike, is an attitude, is an emotion and a feeling, is my idea, concept, which I have created. Understand one thing, a thought is matter, an experience is matter. It has a base and a basis. Behind matter is energy. Behind experience is energy. At the root of matter, at the root of our expression of life, matter is energy. So one has to develop the art of perceiving behind the thought, behind the experience, behind the experience of existence of life. One has to develop the knowledge of energy. Energy itself has two attributes. Even the Yoga Sutras are saying that Sarvagya Bijam, all knowledgeable. Chit, consciousness, CHIT with a halant, Ta with a halant. Chit, consciousness, awareness, Sarvagyata, witness, Purusha, all knowledgeable. Chitta, CHITTA, also known as Chitti, individual consciousness. Sarva Kartitva Bhav, ability to perform all actions, to do all, and this Prakriti is Trigunatmik. This is the base, the foundation before we progress into yoga. We are concerned with Yoga Darshan. There are 6 darshanas, I tell you. So your yoga becomes the path, the way for darshan, to access intuitive knowledge, to access universal knowledge. Darshan through yoga. I will just give one gross example before we go to the next slide. Yeah, there is a stone. I see the stone as a stone. It has got no value for me, or it has got value for me. I go and sell it and I fetch some money and that's it. You may see the stone as a god, as a goddess, whatever. And it fetches you more peace. The third person, she's the vision of the god or the goddess, the Devi. And he has the art of sculpting it out and creates the entire image. That is darshan. So let's understand the term yoga. Next slide, please. Can we? Yeah. So before we go to the subject of yoga, if any questions are there, you may please jot them down. At the end of the session, we will have a question and answer session. So before we go to the term yoga, I will give a brief example. A young boy and his father flying a kite on the beach. The boy, inquisitive, asks the father, how does the kite fly high? The father, wanting to evoke the ability of awareness within him, reverses the questions. Okay, son, you tell me, how does the kite fly high? Think about it. After thinking a bit, he says the kite flies high because of the wind. The father snaps the string. Is the wind there? Yes, it is there. Does it have a direction? It is gone with the wind. The kite has got no direction. It can fall on a tree, it can fall on a terrace, in a river, wherever. But it is the wind which will direct its direction. What was it that was making the kite fly high? It was the ability to direct, the ability to guide. The wind is still there. The wind are the different thoughts which come to our mind. The direction is the ability to guide our life in the direction that we want. Thoughts may come, thoughts may go. Thoughts and their management. I just told you that thoughts are the springboard of actions and behavior of life. We have to know the thoughts, what is the source of thoughts and how it happens. Through the thoughts, we can go to the link down below. So this is how from where does the thought arise? From the field of consciousness, it has sprung up as a thought. And we act on it. That is the performance, externalization. The seed of that thought is in the field of consciousness. Let this idea be very clear. So we are wanting to know, have the knowledge of what is in our field of consciousness. Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre, through the art and science of yoga. When you have all this background, that the mind has got 5 states, Mood, Akshipta, Vikshipta, Ekagra, and Niruddha. When you have this knowledge of consciousness, when you have the knowledge of what this personality comprises of, then you can delve and indulge in the practice of yoga. Yoga, Atha, Yoga, Anushasana. This is what the word Atha means. I will define yoga a little differently. We'll come to the practical definition. Let us look at the word Anusasanam. Here, Rishi Patanjali is not saying Atha, Yoga, Sasanam. He's saying Anusasanam. What is Anu? This is the key point. What is Anu? Individual circumscribed consciousness. This is Anu. When you have this Anu, limited, which is engaged in Buddhi, Ahankar, Manas, and the 5 Tanmatras, which are related to the organs of perception and organs of action. Individual consciousness is in this 8, Buddhi, Ahankar, Manas, and the 5 Tanmatras. 8. It is circumscribed, it is limited, it is individual. Sasanam. Now we have to understand the word Sasanam. Impose discipline? No. So Sasanam, the word Shastra, Sa Astra, Sa plus Astra, with a tool, as a tool. So Sasanam as a tool. Shastra. Shastra is scientific. So scientifically, using yoga as a tool, you are guiding Sasanam, you are guiding your thoughts, you are guiding your consciousness. For that to happen, you have to know your thoughts. To know your thoughts, the attention which is wandering in the world of the senses and the sensorial objects has to be redirected. This is the definition of yoga. As a practical science, to redirect the attention to look at the own thoughts which emerge from within. This is knowing the self. When you start looking at your thoughts, you become an observer of it. What happens? Yogas chitta vritti nirodha. It is said chitta vritti. Again, the word chitta, chitta, vritti, nirodha. The word nirodha has to be understood. It is a relaxed state of awareness which you attain. It is a relaxed state of awareness which you are attaining. You are a witness, you are an observer. Or you are involved in the thoughts. Vritti sarupyam iti ratra. Or you are tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. Your self, your atma, your spirit is from Mooladhara rising up. At each level of the chakras, it is a different field of consciousness, different states of consciousness and energy. You have to know what is within you, what are your likes and dislikes. This is what it means, yoga as a form of discipline. So the word discipline has to be understood very clearly. Anushasanam, you are consciously and willfully directing, choosing your thought, your thinking, which in turn directs your behavior and actions. This is what is known as living in the now, beyond the past impressions. I'm not saying the past impressions are wrong. They might be appropriate at that time. Please understand this thing. Here, he is not talking of anything else. He is saying, don't get angry. No, he's not saying that. He's saying, get angry, but don't have an impression of it in your mind. Forget it. I'm angry at you today. Tomorrow you meet me. I will say, Hari Om, how are you? It is not rankling in my mind that he did yesterday this thing and he did this thing. And I will behave accordingly. The behavior has to be appropriate. It has to be mature, thinking that you are delving deeper in the field of consciousness. Attaining maturity. This is what is important. What is the source of thoughts? So discipline is defined. We come to seeds. Karmas and samskaras. What are karmas? Events of life which manifest in our life. They will repeatedly keep happening. To give a short example, a very simple one. I have a house with 4 walls. I will come afterwards. 10:30. There are 4 walls. That is what is known as the event of my life. This is the area in which I have to play. Samskaras is how I will play in that, whether I will stuff furniture in it or I will keep free space. Will I clutter it or will I keep it free? Totally, these are samskaras. That thought will come from within you. They are embedded in the field of consciousness. When they sprout up, pratyaya, pratyahara, pratyaya, which comes up, image, thought, idea, concept, they are all within you. Are we choosing them? You see an ice cream vendor and you feel water in your mouth. Are you affected by it? Definitely. If you're not affected by it, then there is no water. You may like it. Very big difference. Please understand this thing. It is in daily life that you have to become an observer of yourself, the witness attitude. And when that seed sprouts, a thought comes up and you behave and act, that is what the flowers and fruits are, the expressions of life. Please understand over here, keep loving, be graceful. You have duality in your heart. You don't want to be grateful. You don't want to be graceful. You don't want to love. Why my headache? And you are still behaving that way. You are creating a conflict situation for yourself. So this is the understanding of the word yoga. I have not gone to the classical definitions. If you look at the classical definitions, yuj samanvaya. What does it mean? To join with balance and harmony. It is from the Taittiriya Upanishad. Yoga, yuj samanvaya. It is talking of behavior. Yujir yuj. It is talking of the intellect and the emotion and the actions of the body as an integral personality. One bull goes to the left, one bull goes to the right. You're joined to a cart. The cart will never move ahead. I want my opinion. I want my opinion. The cart never goes ahead. This is the story of every house, father and mother going in different directions. The son going somewhere else. He is not in the car. Yes. Yuj samadhav. The classical definition. What does it say? Samadhi. Concentration will lead you to samadhi. Dharana, dhyan, samadhi. So this is what brings us to yoga darshan. Can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. What is the meaning of it? A process of perceiving through yoga. It could be Nyaya, it could be Sankhya, it could be Vaisheshika. A process of, through the practice, systemic, scientific practice of yoga. Perceiving beyond the senses, beyond the mind. Senses are closed. With the attentive faculty internalized, and the mind, which so many thoughts emerge, it is under control. So it means to perceive the invisible, to perceive with spiritual insight, internal insight. What does this demand? Internalized attention. The mind is calm and relaxed. At the same time, there is a cultivation of awareness. To be aware is to know. Please understand this thing. To be aware is to know. You know what is the thought that emerges from within. What does it mean? You are quite aware of it. And if you are aware of it, then you can choose whether you want to involve in it or not. This is what yoga darshan is. And through yoga practices. So through yoga practices, it is concerned with developing awareness to the stage of dharana, concentration. So that meditation, dhyana can happen. Meditation, attention without tension, to be at a spot. I ask you to create the spot. You may not see the light, but your attention stays focused over there. As time passes by and you practice, you'll be able to see the light. Meditation can happen. Then the stage comes when with open eyes, you can see the spot. Then you can go into the states of samadhi. You just samadha. It is dealing with the mind. The practice of yoga has to deal. Please understand, mind as energy. I said energy. Energy manifests in this body. Ida and Pingala. Mind, the force of the mind, the force of manifestation, Pingala. It gets distributed in the body as Panch Pranavayus and Panch Upapranavayus, which make the body functional. Where is the intelligence of the cells coming from? There are the cells which have formed the heart. They perform the function of the heart. They cannot perform any other function. There is an inherent intelligence within. Yeah, switch on the power. Yeah. This has to be understood very clearly. So what is happening is, through Yoga Darshan, we are bringing our attention, our awareness levels from the mundane levels of consciousness, from the externalized mundane level. Muladhar, Swadhisthana, Manipur, I, Manipur. Swadhisthana, desire, desire, desire. I want this, I have this, I don't have this. Going beyond fears, Muladhar. You are stable. So we are talking of yoga not only as a practice, but as a lifestyle also. The yoga comprises total two things: as a practice, 1 hour in the morning, or 1.5 hours in the morning, or half an hour in the morning, to move the energies. Understand this purpose, to move the energies, cultivating inner awareness. Whether you're practicing asana, pranayam itself is a pratyahar practice. What is the benefit of pratyahar? What is the benefit of pranayam? You become capable of going to dharana. Dharana su cha yogyata manasa. What happens? Purification happens. Tata kshiyate prakasha avaranam. It is all pratyahar practice. So unless you awaken the pranas and learn to guide them, you cannot progress further. It is pranas which will activate and stimulate the field of your consciousness to liberate you from the constraints of the mind, the limitations of the mind, whatever is there in your mind, your likes, dislikes, attitudes, behavior, everything is there in the mind as an experience. They are the constraints. So you want to eventually liberate yourself from these constraints. So Yoga Darshan is a practical process and practical method of cultivating inner awareness. Expansion of awareness. Please keep the same slide. Please, yeah. Exploring the inner potentials. Just imagine, Beethoven had the potential and it got into a manifest state. I will give you an example of my ashram life. I never knew cooking. I did not know what condiments were there, what spices were there. I was put as the kitchen in charge. Believe you me, I just had to accept that situation. The mind is not thinking that I can't do it, or I've never done cooking. The mind is just accepting that this is the adesh of the Guru. I've accepted it and I'm full-fledged into it. Fully devoted to whatever task has come my way. Within 1 year, the ashramites gained from 3 kilos to 8 kilos weight. And they would come to the kitchen with an anticipation that today we don't know what Taponidhi vegetable he would have cooked. That is exploring the inner potential. Understanding the deeper aspects of yourself. I mean, I was at peace. I would get up at... Sorry, there's some sound. Yeah. Exploring the inner potential. Yes. I'm hearing different sounds. Yeah. No, somebody, could you please mute everybody, please? Yeah. So this is understanding the deeper aspects of ourselves. Oh, no, sorry, please don't change the slide. I have not yet completed. Yeah. Yeah. This is understanding deeper concepts of yourself and gaining to intuitive knowledge. Then, oh, suddenly you have to make halwa within half an hour. How will you do it? The mind is so clear, getting crystal clear mind. The mind is so clear. Okay, you do the grinding of the elaichi. You prepare the hot water. You roast the suji. You prepare the ghee, so much kilo I want. You bring the sugar, so much. By the time they all do bring everything, the suji is roasted, the water is already boiling, the ghee is already there. And within half an hour, you have prepared halwa for 250 people. This is my practical experience. I had never made halwa in my life. How much water to put, how much sugar to put, how much ghee to put. It just happens. Access to universal knowledge. So Yoga Darshan is a map, a GPS for yogic journey. Please understand this thing. This is very important to understand. And this brings us to the next slide. Evolution. What does evolution mean? Can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. Evolution is of what? From mundane level of consciousness to higher level of consciousness. Individual consciousness changes. The perception of life and its events. What is the nature of our mind? How do we perceive life? Just imagine, can you see an atom? Do we deny their existence? There is a subtle play of energy and consciousness. And a subtle intelligence. I already spoke about this. A cell in the body becomes a molecule. And it forms a stomach or a liver or a pancreas, gallbladder, whatever, performing different functions. It has an intelligence within it inherent. To experience whatever mindset we are having right now, only the change of the mindset is the key point. Otherwise, why practice yoga? So inherent within you, you need an appropriate vision. This is what is important. The vision, the perception changes, the senses remain the same. Only the quality of the internal senses changes. As one lets go of the powerful senses and their impressions, there is something within you which will arise. And when that comes up, this will result in manifestation of that which is inherent within you. The potential, the inherent potential. Understand, I've been saying that we have been talking of evolution to expand the capacities of perception beyond the independent, beyond and independent of the senses and the mind. So to be able to perceive beyond sense experience, the process as we internalize the awareness, practice pranayama pratyahara dharana, we experience the interplay of energy and consciousness, Inda and Pingala. We are evolving the awareness of tattvas. Become aware of tattvas as flow. Giving you an experience, I gave you the example of a thought, a desire, creating a vibration in Vishuddhi, a sound, Akash Tattva. So evolving awareness of chakras, evolving awareness of tattvas through the play of energy and consciousness. Energy here for manifestation. You have to reverse the path. And this is what brings up to perception. It means the ability to observe at different centers. Centers of vibration, chakras, bindu. Muladhara is a bindu, Swadhisthana is a bindu, has two energies, Ida and Pingala, from which it distributes throughout the body. The state of the energies and the state of consciousness. All the chakras are active at all the time. You need to harmonize them and balance them. One predominant, other dormant. No, you have all in balance. Look at your physiological system, endocrine system. If it is balanced, then it works fine. If it is not balanced, the body shows a disease. Hormones are disturbed, So you are practicing yoga for harmonizing the energies. Practice of yoga for harmonizing of energies, awakening the consciousness. And this is what brings us to chakras. Chakras, they receive energy from Sahasrara, going down, becoming grosser and grosser. They receive energy from Muladhara. At the moment, it is just a 200-volt current. Because our nervous system and our physiology cannot withstand 440 volts, cannot withstand 11 kV, cannot withstand 1.1 kV. If that Kundalini awakens and your body cannot withstand, there will be a breakdown, a failure. So in the practice of yoga, when your energy has awakened, and if your body is not able to bear, your body will become stiff. When does the body go into a spasm? Pain, cramp. When the energy is so much that the body cannot hold it, then the cramp happens and it results in pain. Understand the sequence of the practice, asana pranayam. Why it is important to practice in sequence, and it cannot be random. Just because I feel today something, I will do it. No. The chakras are functioning as interconnectedness between the physical body, going out, the energy for performance, between the subtle body, the chakras themselves, and the causal dimension, Vishuddhi and Agya, Karana Sharira, how to tap the unconscious at Vishuddhi and Agya. So chakras can be seen as intermediaries for energy transfer and conversion between neighboring dimensions, Annamay Kosh, Pranmay Kosh, Manomay Kosh, Vigyanmay Kosh, Anandmay Kosha. They are interdependent. No, next slide, please. Next one. Next one. Yeah. No, yeah. Interconnectedness. This is what is to be understood. From the body to the mind to the body. And the mind itself is conscious, subconscious, unconscious, and beyond the mind also. So causal and subtle energy, please understand now. Listen, causal and subtle energy can be transformed to energy for the physical dimension. Externalization, karma. Physical energy reverted back can be transformed as subtle energy, mental energy through the chakras. Transformation, evolution through what? This is the science. As the chakras are activated and awakened, one becomes aware of the alternate dimensions of existence and the ability to enter those dimensions. Astral travel. So what does chakra sadhana lead to? It releases the confined energy in the chakras, which is directly connected to the brain. Confined energy in the chakra, chakra a bindu. Energy and consciousness. Now here when I use the term energy and consciousness, Ida and Pingala, allowing for the free flow of spiritual energy from Muladhara to Sushumna. So chakra sadhana is for evolution, bringing the two opposite polarities, the Ida, Nada, Bindu, and Kala. Kala is Pingala. Bindu is the chakra, and Nada. So Ida, also known as Nada, flow of consciousness. Chitta, Chitta Shakti, flow of consciousness. So bringing the two opposite polarities, Pingala, Kala, Prana Shakti, flow of energy for manifestation. When they meet at the chakras, opposite currents are meeting, hot water and cold water meet, there will be a steam rising, energy will explode. Then one can evolve through the chakras. When that explosion happens, that is when you can experience consciousness. That is when from here you go here and you can experience pure consciousness. Purusha. Release of blockages happens. This is what joining union means. Ida and Pingala, her and her, yoga. Release of blockages of conditionings which we have cultivated through our experiences in life. Muladhara Chakra allows you to be grounded, not just the physical body, but the mental intelligence also and the emotional intelligence also. You are grounded. Swadhisthana allow you to consciously manifest your desires without having to be overpowering. Look at yourself in your actual life. When you have to manifest a desire, you literally force yourself on others. And when you go through the chakras, it just happens. The energy creates for you your desire. Fulfillment happens. Knowing the emotions, rather than being overwhelmed them or getting carried away. मैं तो इसी लड़के से शादी करूंगी. आप पिताजी आप हाँ बोलिए या ना बोलिए, मम्मी आप भी सुन लीजिए. हाँ बेटा उससे शादी कर लेना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, लेकिन पता तो कर कि उसका कारोबार क्या है, क्या कितना कमाता है, कैसे करता है, तेरे ख्याल कैसे रखेगा, तेरा क्या कार्य रहेगा, घर में कौन कौन है, घर में कैसा वातावरण है. कुछ नहीं, मैं शादी करूंगी तो इसी से करूंगी. Lost your total intelligence faculty, overpowered by that emotion that I want to get married to only this person. Manipur is lost, Anahat is lost. So when you deal with chakras and you are becoming aware, understand this thing. Yoga is meditative awareness of your internal expressions. Then you gain the ability to not be carried over by them, not be overwhelmed by them, not be carried away. This is important. When you come to Vishuddhi, then you express yourself very clearly. And not only that, you learn the art of listening. To speak, spontaneous thoughts come up. To be able to access intuitive knowledge and develop. It is 9:38, yeah. Agya Chakra. It is from Agya Chakra that yoga happens, please understand. The point of yoga is Agya Chakra. Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna, they three meet. The point of Hatha Yoga is Agya Chakra. The point of yoga is here, Sahasrar, where these energies, they go up and then they don't drag you down. You are so conscious, you are so aware that they develop a connection with the universal energies. And that is what have to take you to different knowledges, universal knowledges. So consciousness is the keystone to attainment of peace. How to attain this? Please understand. Antarayas are in the first chapter, the states of mind which take you away from concentration. Vikshepa sahabhuva. Dukkha dormanasya. Angam jayatva. Swasa prashvasa. Swasa prashvasa, rhythm of the breath. You were guided into the rhythm of the breath before the session began. As you observe the breath, the rhythm becomes steady. Become aware that we are rhythmic human beings. The rhythm of the hormones changes in the body. We feel pain. We feel disturbed. Our mind loses balance. The rhythm of the universe changes. If it rains now, I'll have to run inside the room. We have to live with the rhythm of the universe. This is the science. If you're out of tune till 2 o'clock in the morning, you're looking at a mobile phone and chatting with your friends, you're out of rhythm, out of sync. You're asking for sickness. Please be with the rhythm of the universe. Can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. And that brings us to the sadhana path. So I brought this about the states of the mind and the accompanying symptoms, dukkha dormanasya, sadness, dormanasya, unhappiness, dormanasya, anxiety, depression. Angam jayatva. Your nerves are not able to withstand the energy. You have to stabilize the energy through swas prashwas. Come to the rhythm of the breath. Come to energy. Swas prashwas is the link to connect with the energy. From the Ida, connecting with the force of consciousness, force of the mind. With Pingala, connecting with the force of manifestation in the body. Yeah. So we are coming to sadhana pad. So the first chapter, samadhi pad, is known as chapter on concentration. It is guiding you, it is telling you what are the steps to concentration, what are the pitfalls, what are the antarayas, how to resolve them. Are then 7 to 8 different practices are given. And then you can go to the understanding of samadhi. Chapter on concentration, chapter on practice. Kriya yoga. Tapa swadhyaya ishwar pranidhanani kriya yoga. In Kriya Yoga, I'm not going to delve into the entire science of Kriya Yoga because it is an entire lecture by itself. Please understand the word Kriya. It comes from the root Kri, K-R-I. Karma comes from the word Kri. Action, meaning action. Action demands use of energy. The image to your left, which is showing a human being sitting in a posture, the energy going down and out through the knees. That is karma. External manifestation of energy. When this energy is reversed, look at the triangle on the right side. Ida and Pingala are meeting at the Bindu and then rising up, Sushumna. This is Kriya. Tapas swadhyaya ishwar pranidhanani Kriya. You have to create energy. Tapa is creation of energy. A full lecture will be taken some other time, Kriya Yoga. But just to explain. So in Kriya Yoga, we are focusing on the kshetrams, the reflection of the trigger points. The original trigger points are Vishuddhi is at the nape of the neck. Anahat is at the back of the heart. Manipur is at the back of that is a trigger point. The reflection of the trigger point in the front part of the body, navel, sternum, throat pit, eyebrow center, pubic bone. Yeah, these are the kshetrams. They are reflections of the original trigger points. Please understand this thing very clearly. That is why I have mentioned separately on the slide that you can see Kriya Yoga, kshetrams and trigger points are mentioned separately to give a clear idea. So what happens when you focus either on the kshetram or the trigger points? A sensation passes through the nerves to the chakra itself. Annamay kosh, pranamay kosh, manomay kosh, vigyanmay kosh. Through the chakras. That is why chakra sadhana. See, the practice in the first statement of practice, Rishi Patanjali is talking of Kriya Yoga and the purpose is very clear. When we concentrate, the reflection passes to the chakras and through that up the Sushumna to the brain. This has to be an experience. That is the meaning of the word darshan. Darshan is an experience. Darshan does not happen if my attentive faculty is somewhere else. The vision is passing by, but the mind is thinking something else. The mind is agitated. The mind is not calm. Nirodha avastha. Chitta vritti nirodha avastha. So chakras can be seen as light, can be felt as vibrations. You can maybe perceive as sounds. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, and sa. This is the science of sound vibrations. If you press over here, and if you are really focused and internalized, you can experience the chakra. If you press over here, you can experience Vishuddhi chakra. But the requirement is that the mind should be internalized. Your attention should be internalized. Can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. So that is, I will come to Kundalini Yoga a little bit. So Kundalini Yoga is focus on the chakra through the trigger points and raising the energy up through the spinal column. So when you evolve through the chakras, your consciousness and energy evolves through the chakra. Does it mean you are not participating in life? Please understand this thing. I have said Nirodha Avastha is a peaceful state. Look at Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, Sankhya Darshan. Very clearly stated, the last sutra, one who attains the Brahmi Sthiti is the divine who is living in wisdom. Because the last entire section is about Sthita Pragya. How does a person who is a Sthita Pragya, who is living in wisdom, behave? He is beyond dualities. He is beyond the hot and cold, beyond the Ida and Pingla. Beyond means to come up, to be intuitive. You are in a peaceful state. So having raised the energies through the Kundalini Yoga, through the spinal passage, peace descends without pretense as an expression of your daily life. You don't have to pretend. It is your normal state of being. Before the peace, after the peace, what happens are the other chapters. We are not dealing with it at the moment. Yoga Darshan for evolution. I just want to give us an acronym of what yoga is about. Yoga as a way. A race. A for attention, directing your attention. When you look at your thoughts, when you look at your mind, the vrittis calm down. You are a witness. Attentive faculty is an observer state. Chitta vritti nirodha happens. Relaxation happens. Awareness, relaxation, AR. A. Attention, relaxation, awareness. You have expanded vision. You realize that you are focused on your object. At the same time, a lot of thoughts are going out. Purification is happening. Knowing yourself. What are you? There might be bad thoughts, that might be good thoughts, but you are not affected by it anymore. Or you are in vritti sarupyam iti ratat, dadashtu sarupya avasthanam. So you are in a state of concentration. Concentration will lead to evolution. As concentration happens, just one example for concentration. You have a magnifying glass, sun's rays are coming from here. They meet at a point of focus. You keep a paper at the focus, it will start burning after some time. This is what happens when you start concentrating at the eyebrow center. The mind starts throwing off energy, different thoughts come up. But to be at meditative attention, to be focused, gently focused, not like this, gently focused on the object of your attention, on the focus of the object of your attention. That will lead to evolution. That focus can be taken to chakras. You have to stimulate the chakras. Entire chapter on Kriya Yoga is for that purpose. Kleshatanu karnartha, samadhi bhavnarth, kleshatanu karnarthascha. Attaining concentration. Samadhi has got other meanings also. I'm sticking to the point of concentration for evolution, which can be explained in the 3rd chapter, but we are sticking over here. So samadhi bhavnartha, klesha tanu karnarthascha. That is the 2nd sutra, giving the purpose of the discipline, the purpose of the practice. Go to concentration. Attenuate the kleshas. Go beyond the kleshas. And then so many things follow after that. That is evolution. So yoga as a lifestyle is a race, A for attention, R for relaxation, A for awareness, C for concentration, and E for evolution, evolution of a consciousness. With prayers that this may be the path for yoga for all of you. Just one small thing. This book is about Yoga Darshan. It does not say Raj Yoga Darshan. Please understand this thing very clearly. It does not say Hatha Yoga Darshan. It does not say Mantra Yoga Darshan. It does not say Kriya Yoga Darshan. It is saying Yoga Darshan. Whether you follow the path of Hatha Yoga, you are using the energies, creating the energies, Hatha, and whether you use karma, Yoga Skuru Karmani, Sangam Tattva Dhananjaya, Siddhyo Asiddhyo, Samo Bhutva, Samatvam Yoga Uchate. Even Karma Yoga is for the purification of Chitta. Whether you are using your intelligence, intellect, it is for transformation. It is not for, so it is Yoga Darshan. Any path of yoga, even Mantra Yoga, even Nada Yoga, everything. These are the steps. That is why it is systematic and scientific. I open the session here for question and answers. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. You can please switch off the slides. I have dealt the subject, bringing in yoga in mind. Please join in with me for a question answer session.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Could you please, anybody has a question, could you please coordinate?
Yes.
Because
So
I
thank
have
you so much,
a lot of light coming from in front of me. I'm unable to see. Yeah, please go ahead. Sorry.
No problem. So yes, thank you so much, Swamiji. That was very intense. And we open the platform for question and answers. Anyone who has questions may please unmute yourself and ask.
Yeah, please ask. I'm listening.
Alternatively, you can put in the chat box, but preferably you may just unmute and ask.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes.
Nowadays, there is a talk of Shaktipat Yoga.
Yes.
So, whether that is also covered in Yoga Darshan or it is completely different?
Yeah, if we go to Kashmir Shaivism, and one of the ways in Kashmir Shaivism of attainment is where somebody gives you an idea. This is what happened to Swami Vivekananda, where his guru gave him Ramakrishna ji, Paramahansa Ramakrishna gave him an initiation and made him see the light. But he had to live his karmas. So you become an evolved soul, but you have to live your karmas. The knowledge will flow within you, but still your karmas are still there to be lived. So that is something which is the shortest path. a guru initiates you and you have the vision from within. Does this answer your question, Hemanji?
Yeah, only my query is whether steps what you elucidated
It is
are same or
no,
they are different?
no. These steps are for practitioners who want to progress on the life of yoga. You see, one who has gone to a guru is already inclined towards darshan.
Oh.
He gets the vision. So his karmas have taken him to that state. But yet, within his impressions, he has got karmas which have to be lived.
Okay.
So does he follow the path?
Huh.
Once he is initiated, once he gets the vision, he starts living his guru's directions. That's all.
Okay.
For example, I would say, I gave the example of being in a kitchen. I did not know where the knowledge came from me.
Yeah.
Knowledge just descends. The mind goes away.
Right.
The mind is no more a barrier. The faculty is tuned to those vibrations. Your mind and heart is so pure that you will receive that energy. It is an expression, that expression shows that you are evolved. That at that particular point of time, when your task is such and your mind is free. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my answer.
So it could be that even though you have received initiation, but if you don't make an effort to stay on the path, you can come down. This is something which Swamiji has told us clearly. I have given you the mantra. Whether you chant or not is your problem. If you don't chant, then you will fall down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have a question, Swamiji. Very
Yes,
intense
please.
question. Thank you. Swamiji, you made a mention about the seven sur, sat sur.
Yes.
Sorry, I somehow missed the context. So if you could just briefly share that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I said about the suras, but in the session, I'd also said that go to the vibratory level, go to the energy level. So Sa is at the root chakra, Muladhara. Re. Now, this is dependent on the frequency that you are tuned to. If the lady is in the 4th octave, higher octaves, she will tune it at the higher octave because her voice, her vibrations are at a higher octave. Mine are at Madhyam, 3rd octave. So don't worry about the octaves. But Sa is at Muladhara. The higher Sa is at Sahasrara. So Sa, Re is at Swadhisthana. Ga is at Manipur. Ma is at Anahat. Pa is at Vishuddhi. Dha is at Agya. Ni is Bindu. And again, Sa, higher octave, you are going to the higher levels, finer frequencies. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah. So that is Nada Yoga. Science of vibrations. Nada. Na and the Da is the strike, the desire, which creates the vibration. If you strike the drum, that is striking is the Da, the skin of the drum creates the vibrations travel. That is Na. It is those vibrations which is Nada. Yeah. So it is a science of vibrations. Yeah. Anybody else?
Sir, how this, energy point, it can be, inculcated in the asana sequences. Basically, is there any principle concept we need to follow on the sequences of the asanas?
Okay, fine. Yeah, okay, fine. I understand your question. Say there is a main road. A main road, it has got bylanes, right? Signals in between, 7 signals, 7 chakras. For the main road to be clear, the signals, the bylanes have to be clear. If one bylane is blocked, the main lane gets blocked. So if your energies are free within the arms and the limbs, then the chakras are free. The energy will flow. The Pavan Muktasana series, which is propagated by the Bihar School of Yoga, is very, very important if you want to enter the field of chakras. They will open spontaneously. They will start functioning because the signal is stopped. There is no traffic block, and the energy is flowing freely through the hands, through the limbs. A simple explanation: main road, 7 signals, 6 signals, energy coming from down or up, and if the signal is blocked, chakra is blocked. If the signal is blocked, there is traffic from left, there is traffic from right, then you are stuck. The main energy flow is stuck. Am I clear? Does this answer your question?
Yes.
This is one level. Second level, you have cleared the limbs. Now you have to clear the entire systems through the Panch Pran Vayus. That is where you come to Pavan Muktasana 2 and Pavan Muktasana 3. And then you can go in for the practices. So your practice, entire practice, set of practices has to be a balanced set of practices to stimulate all the chakras, which can then take you to pranayam. Tasmin sati swas prashwasa yor gati vicheda pranayam. Tasmin sati, to be able to sit comfortably after having attained asana. After having attained asana means what? Tato dvandvana abhigata. You are beyond dualities. Your consciousness is beyond dualities. You are ready to focus. Your focus of attention is on the breath. So your practice sequence has to be dealing with all the chakras, balancing and harmonizing, and then proceeding into pranayam. Then go to pratyahar, then go to meditation. And remember, there are certain practices. For example, you have been practicing asana, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana. You have been practicing all types of yoga. You are able to sit 15 minutes in Siddhasana, Siddhyoni asana, or you are able to sit in Padmasana. Your attention is focused. You are aware of the breath. The breath has become silent. So you are in an asana. The breath is silent, controlled. The attention is focused. Your attention is internalized, and you are chanting mantras. When you chant mantras, it clears the mind. Mannata trayate iti mantraha. With the focus of attention on the object. 4 practices. Just imagine, they are all limbs. Asana, if you practice only, it is a limb, one limb. It is a handicap practice. If you're practicing pranayam only, it is a handicap practice. You have not moved the energies in the body. Pranayam will not be helpful. You will develop pains. If the breath is not balanced and harmonious, you cannot internalize. The agitations will be too high. And that you cannot concentrate. So these 4, just mantra sadhana, sitting in posture, chanting mantras. It is a pranayam practice as a mantra. Om tat savitur varenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi diyo yona prachodayat. Om tat savitur varenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi diyo yona. In one breath, twice the mantra, only the Gayatri. The Vyaritas, Om Bhur Bhuvasva is not even chanted. You are doing pranayam, you are in a posture, you are doing mantra, manna tatrayate iti mantraha, and you are focused on the eyebrow center. All 4 practices together. This is about practice. Excuse me. Does it answer you?
Swamiji, can I ask one question?
Yes, please.
अच्छा, जब मैं खुद प्रैक्टिस कर रही हूँ आसन की,
जी,
तब while I am in some posture, I am keeping my attention on my breath, only
जी.
focusing on inhaling and exhaling.
जी.
Will it give a good flow to my energy, or am I doing wrong?
Perfectly right. And you have to progress from there to visualizing of the chakras. Because when you hold the posture, every posture stimulates a chakra. Depending on the state of your consciousness, which chakra, it simulates not one chakra, it might simulate second or third chakra, but it depends on your ability to focus. So you have to progress to that. And then you have to start visualizing, and you will see that your body is spontaneously going because the energy is moving the body. You are not doing anything. That will be the energy taking over your practice. I hope that answers your question, Doctor.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And your explanation was excellent. Excellent.
Namaste. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, go ahead. Monica. Yeah, go ahead. Anybody else? So I hope I have been able to bring about the vision of the rishis. So many of you are yoga teachers. Try to bring this about in your practices for the others. Practice yourself and feel the difference. Believe you me, it works. I will give you an example. When I started yoga, I was in business. I had my own industry. A time of recession, no payments would be given. I had to go to Andheri to meet a customer. And I went over there. But before that, I called up another person who is my other customer in Andheri itself. I told him, Mr. Iyer, I know my payment is not due. I'm coming to Andheri. I need my payment. My truck has come from Calcutta and I want to release the documents. I would appreciate if you could please give me the payment. Now, normally they pay in 3 months, and this is 3 weeks since the material was delivered to him. You see, what he tells me is, please do come. Have tea with us. We will talk business also and talk about other printing also. Now, in the time of recession, a company which gives you payment after 3 months and will delay further, he starts giving. And I had no experience of business, believe you me. 15 years I have been traveling out at sea, working as a marine engineer. But because of the practice of yoga, my energy could create that. And it is not just one example. There are so many examples in my life like this. Abhyasa vairagya tan nirodha, to come to a peaceful state of mind. Then your energy can be transferred. Tan nirodha, the nirod state which I am explaining is very important to understand. It is a calm, relaxed state of awareness. Please understand this thing. It is only then that the energy from within you can transfer, that peace within you can transfer, and the other person will do your bidding. Your thoughts materialize effortlessly. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes, Bala. Can you take over, please? Or Chitraji, if you can take over, anybody?
Yeah, I'll take over.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else who wants, who has any questions? If you have, just send it to me. I will coordinate and get it back to you. On behalf of ISC and all the yoga teachers who attended today, thank you so much, Swamiji, for taking time out. Not only taking the time out, but also ensuring that we set everything right, being available for let's say checking everything before we started the session. Appreciate that very much. In summary, there were a lot of small, let's say, quotes that you gave. I think the entire thing was an exercise in terms of how to deliver a lecture, which is very heavy in terms of simplicity. That's what's my biggest takeaway. How do you actually simplify it? As they say, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. This is a classic example of actually making it very interesting, very pointed, as well as summarizing everything nicely. Just to give you a simple let's say, thing which you talked about, internalizing attention via darshana. Okay, then you talked in terms of intellectual gymnastics. You talked in terms of thought management. You talked in terms of ability to see beyond the mind. Then you talked in terms of change of the mindset and how does the quality of the internal senses changes. I think most of the yoga teachers here would have read this number of times, gone through various darshanas everywhere. But the key takeaway is the linkages and the simplicity in which it was brought out. I think that's something which all of us can take away in terms of how to deliver heavy duty stuff in a nice, simple manner, and how do you get to the acronyms. I think this will remain with me for my lifetime. Attention, relaxation, awareness, concentration, and evolution, a race. I think thank you so very much, Swamiji, on behalf of all the people who are attending the session and on from the Yoga Study Circle. Appreciate your time. We look forward to having more sessions from you. Thank you so much.
Next session could be on Kriya Yoga, just to let you know. Anyway,
Sure.
So practice yoga for evolution, not for samadhi. Hariom, that's it. Thank you very much
Thank you.
for inviting me and being with all of you. It's very nice to chat like this with
Yes.
all your faces visible.
Right.
See, I'm not talking to a blind screen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it as if I'm talking to myself, looking at a mirror.
So we try to ensure that there is a face to the name. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Everything worked fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste. Hariom.
Hariom.
Signing off over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any off? Right.